Okay, Pangaea's up.
Josh, do you want to control from the other? Okay, so you guys stand here, we'll stand there.
We live in a world that is constantly being revamped and restructured by the power of technology. We also live in a world that is currently facing one of the largest humanitarian crises of this time, of our time. And that crisis is the international refugee crisis. Now that crisis is threefold. The issue comprises of three main components. First, let's talk about the misrepresentation of refugees. Now, refugees are people just like you and I, but unfortunately, their tale is often told by other people. And oftentimes, that comes with a very negative impact because that oftentimes gives governments an excuse to not support them or give them sufficient resources because they're seen as pests rather than people. Rather than an opportunity to the world, they're seen as a calamity. Secondly, a lack of transparency that currently exists with donation platforms that are in place to resolve the refugee crisis and aid refugees all over the world. Most of the time, when someone donates, they're not entirely sure who exactly they're impacting and what that money is being used for. And so the last problem is this selfie-ish generation. We are surrounded by folks of the 18 to 34-year-old age range who do want to make an impact, but there are instead of the traditional outlets that exist today, we want to create a platform that caters to their habit and lifestyle, as well as their desire to make an impact. Enter Pangaea, a mobile and web-based visual crowdsourcing platform that connects the plights of refugees to donors who are extremely passionate about whatever those refugees are passionate about as well.
So here's how our interface works. It follows a very simple four-step process. Firstly, the refugee uploads a video detailing a specific social issue or need faced in his community. The video is then relayed into our Pangaea portal, which is a visual archive of 20-second video shorts submitted by refugees all across the world. Then our visiting donors select which videos he would like to donate his money to. The funds that we accrue through our crowdsourcing platform are then distributed to a local charity in our Pangaea network of affiliates. That charity then works to supply the need posed in the refugee's video. Once the refugee's need is serviced, the refugee then posts a response video indicating a confirmation of appreciation, stating to the donators that go to our site that his need has been fulfilled. Now I'll pass it to my colleague Sarah, who will go into the benefits of our platform.
So why choose Pangaea over the already existing donation platforms? First, Pangaea gives refugees a voice. This is an issue that hasn't really been addressed as much this evening, because a lot of people think that dignity is just about food or shelter, but it's more than that. These people need to be heard and they need to feel valued, and Pangaea gives them an outlet to do just that. Second, donors know exactly what, to whom, and where their donations are going. This eliminates the transparency issue that currently exists with traditional donation platforms. And lastly, we're working with local charities who know the refugees better, know their needs better, and can therefore service them better, and opening up how many donations they can receive by creating an app that allows people from across the globe to donate to their specific local charities, saving them time and money. Where's Pangaea going in the future? Well, as the refugee crisis evolves, and it will over the next 5 to 10 years and beyond that, their needs are going to start going from things such as water, food, shelter, to more complicated needs such as language tutoring and legal assistance in the countries that they now reside in. And Pangaea will evolve just along with those refugees to start funding things from humanitarian needs to more complicated modern-day services. We'd like to show you a 20-second promo video that we feel fully encapsulates the essence of Pangaea.
1 second, please.
Thank you. We'd like to open up to questions.
How do you avoid scams?
All right, so our platform follows a two-way vetting process. So in the case that, say, a con artist wants to use our site, he wouldn't be able to because the refugee has to be first affiliated with one of our Pangaea networks. He has to first submit an intake form, which is then transferred to us with basic personal information. And say on the flip side, the charity is illegitimate. We would know for sure because in the case of any impropriety, the refugee would contact us with a complaint and we would go in and investigate. And if there was any chance of that, they would be restricted from our site.
What's your go-to-market strategy in terms of scaling this operation? Because I would imagine there are thousands of charities around the world, and identifying them and monitoring them as described is a considerable undertaking. So have you identified a geographic location you're going to start with and then build upon?
I'll take that question. So right now we are going to tackle the Syrian refugee population, right, to start. And in terms of marketing, our marketing strategy is going to comprise of mainly partnerships. So we're going to partner with charities in the Middle East. I do have a list of charities if you would like me to list them. And in addition to that, local political activists, as well as Al Jazeera. Like, we know people that currently work there that can help get the word out. And seeing that this refugee crisis is such a hot topic now, we aren't really taken aback by the whole marketing of this platform because it is relevant now and people will want to join as long as we have the right strategic partnerships.
Yeah, I would say in addition to that, our competitors aren't really other charities. We're partnering with charities. Our competitors are exclusively other charity crowdfunding platforms.
So I like the idea of identifying somebody or something that I can connect giving charity or my charity to. But when I look at a video and I say, okay, I feel for these people, I want to give something, am I basically giving money and then whomever, like, do I know the money's going for food or the money's going for clothes? Like, how do I connect from the video to what ultimately the money is used for?
So the setup of our site is we section these videos off into 20-second shorts. So once you reach the end of a short, it'll say, what would you like to do? And it'll give you a list of options. And if you click, ours is an image-based search engine. So if you save the image, you can then be redirected to the charity on our page. And then it'll go into a lot more detail into what the problem is and what you can do to resolve it using your money.
Yeah, to add to that, I'd also say, unlike other charities where you just donate to a generic cause, for us, you can literally press a button that says, I want to make sure that this specific refugee is getting water. And if that's the ask of the refugee and you can donate the money that they need for that cause, then your money will go exactly to providing that.
But you're going to audit that charity that's responsible for delivering that.
100%. Yeah.
So how do you think you're going to deal with popular videos versus not so popular videos if the money is going to go directly to the refugee? Because what you don't want to create is large amounts of money going to one particular refugee's cause versus the other.
Yeah, okay, so this is something we've thought about extensively. Essentially, once a specific refugee's video, their needs have been fulfilled and completed, they'll be taken off of our hierarchy of needs web, our opening page, and replaced with other such refugees. So let's say you click on somebody's video whose needs already have been fulfilled. So after the end of that, it'll be updated very regularly. You'll see a button that says, this person's needs have been filled. Would you like to help somebody else who needs water in such and such refugee camp? Would you like to help somebody else who needs X, Y, and Z need in a certain location to make sure that things are being cycled? And if one person's particular video hasn't been popular for a while or hasn't been viewed, then we're going to send information to those charities to update them on that fact and say, perhaps you would like to refilm the video with some suggestions.
Okay, sorry, we gotta stop there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.